Hey, you're doing the same animation as that one guy. Or, actually, you look very much like that one guy. Hans. Hans, that's the guy. Hans. That's what I mean. Hans. Hello? Slow day for it. Ooh.
Burner Street.
Hello. God, you are jacked. Like, you are buff. Jeez, I'm kind of envious of you. I don't got anything there. I'm too fucking skinny.
Burner Street.
Okay, we've heard this before, Holmes. Hello?
With the police. Then do something. People are dying of hunger here.
I don't know anything about it. Do you know where we all live? We're in Victorian England. A place which, honestly, was pretty shitty for the poor. Until nearer to the end of the 19th century, in which case...
Burner.
Okay. In which case, things started to go well for people who worked in the labour market with things such as unions and such. And there was better treatment. And around that point, everyone was just... Okay. Community, okay. I thought it was a communist for some reason. And then it goes around... Why did it freeze up there? And of course around that era as well, war was starting to brew over on the eastern... No, eastern... I guess Western Front. But then of course, it was all about fighting back then, and that's what we Britons are good at.
Queue up.
Okay, fine. Well, let me just give you a rundown about British history. You see, you got a top hat in your rundown. Why are you...
Whitechapel Street.
Anyway, as I was saying, many years ago, about 2,000 years ago, we were just a bunch of tribes called the Brittanies. And we walked up to one of the tribe leaders and said, "Yeah, we'll fucking shank you outside of Sainsbury, I swear on me mum." And of course, he didn't appreciate that very well, so he decided to start
Please
fighting.
excuse us, sir.
And so we decided to start fighting them. And then we kept fighting, and we did that for a couple of 100,000 years. And then, eventually, the Romans came up, and they were just like, "Oh, how are you doing, good sirs?" But they as you all know...
it is unnecessary.
It's unnecessary to talk to a woman. What? Because as we all know, in any game ever, the Romans have this posh British accent. You've seen the Total War series.
We haven't got a home or any work. What will become of us?
Well, why are you covering as a kid died? I hope the kid's not died. Anyway, and so we were like, "Yeah, we'll shank you outside of Tesco. I swear on your mum."
They leave us to die like dogs.
Okay. And so there was just a whole bunch of fighting between the Romans, and the Romans kind of kicked our asses. Not gonna lie, that. Not gonna lie. The Romans kind of kicked our asses. And then, a couple of years later, they tried to take over, like, Scotland. And Scotland's like, "Look, aye, laddie, we shank your man outside of Tesco. You swear on to mum." Look, I can't do Scottish accent. And so it's a fight. And everyone was like, "We're not very appreciative of these ruffians. So, we'll just build a great big wall." And so they did. And then a little bit later, they left because they decided that they were going to abandon us. And then a bunch of people known as the Vikings appeared. And they were like, "For told us that we're here to take over your land." And then we were like, "Oh, well, that's not good. We'll shank you outside of a Tesco. We swear on our mothers." And so we fought the Vikings, but they ended up kicking our asses because they were a lot stronger than we expected. So there was a whole bunch of fire then.
No.
And it was unnecessary to talk to this lady. Okay. And so there was a whole bunch of fighting. And then the Vikings ended up kicking our asses. Well, I admit that. The Vikings did kick our asses. And do I have to, like, go all the way back here? I assume, given there's a soup kitchen thing here, I've just wasted a ton of time, haven't I?
Nothing of interest here.
Or not! Okay. I'm a bit lost. Do I not have the thing? No, I don't have the thing. The things. The things.
You ain't from round here. You shouldn't stay here. It ain't healthy.
Anyway. And so the Vikings took over, and then a bunch of people called the Saxons appears. And the Saxons, I don't remember where the fuck they were from, but they just said they were going to take us over. And then the Vikings were like, yeah, we don't like that. We'll kill you. I swear on you and shank you outside of Tesco. I swear on me mum. And so we ended up fighting them. And unfortunately, the Saxons kicked our asses as well. It wasn't a very good time for us back then. There was a lot of fighting. I don't even mention the times when we fought against the French. And the French are like, sacre bleu, we shanked your mother outside of Tesco. We swear on your mother. But of course, when they spoke all in French, and I don't speak a word of French, so I don't fucking know. But like, fast forwarding again, and then after the Saxons took over, we ended up having the Normans appear. And they were French as well, they were sacre bleu. We demand this country for the honor of thrift robs. And so they were like, no, we'll shank you outside of Tesco, etc., etc. And they kicked our ass there. So it wasn't a very good time for us. Yes, I know that you run in fresh shift. I'm just terribly, terribly lost here. I'm going to keep going this way and hopefully I'll find the right spot. Hello. No? You got a nice beard. You also got a bit of a scratch on your side there. And then, at that point, we were like, you know what? We don't like being invaded anymore. We're not going to be invaded anymore. So then, eventually, there was this asshole called Napoleon that showed up. And he was like, oh, we're going to take this over for France. And we were like, yeah, no. And then we fought him like 4 times or so. It was like 4 separate wars. And then Napoleon was like, I'm going to surrender like the Frenchman I am, even though it's King Louis that surrendered. And then after that, we kind of took over the entire world. And when I say took over the entire world, I mean like we took over like a quarter of it. That's not too bad. You know, can't really complain. Really tiny country. It's just like, yeah.
Leave me alone.
You are drunk as hell. I think a little bit later, like, the French were attacking. They're like, oh, we know that we have war with you.
Sorry, the market is closed. There's no more produce.
Oh, we know that you were our enemy at one point, but would you mind being our
It's
friend?
the last bread shop open in the area.
Would you mind helping us against the Germans? And the Germans were like, ja, we didn't say coffee, see what if we swear on some mothers. And then we were just like, no. And then America came in, and it's like, oh hell, well we're here to help fight.
We aren't investigating down there, Holmes, are we? Are you sure?
I have no clue where to go now then.
Nothing of interest here.
Okay, I'm going to guess that I have to head back to the hospital. Anyway. Anyway. Where was I? And then we ended up being the Germans back. All by ourselves. Nobody else helped, just totally us. And then a couple of years later, Hitler appeared. And Hitler was just like, I know that we ended up screwing up one time, but surely it's the second time we've seen the shot will succeed. And so they started attacking, and then everyone was just like, oh nah, England's, especially America, they were like, oh nah, England's totally dead. Like, you notice that Germany just kicked the ass of everybody on the West. They took over France in like 2 or 3 weeks. Yeah, nah, man.
How can I help you?
Nothing? Okay. It's like, oh no, there is totally no way in hell.
Closed.
There's no way in hell England's gonna win this. So, you know what? We're just gonna go ahead, we're gonna leave them be. And then we're just like, well, we don't appreciate that. We're going to completely...
This stove is hardly working. That would explain the damp around here.
We don't...
Incredible. My colleague could at least keep a good fire going for his patients.
And we were just like, that is most unorthodox. We don't need your help. After all, you require us for trade, we require supplies. Therefore, we are forcing you to work with us in a non-combat way outside of volunteers. And then we fought them for like 7 months. I don't mean we fought America. We fought America before. We lost that one, unfortunately. But that's because they had those damn dirty French helping them. And then a little bit later, we also, again, we had to fight the damn dirty French. I do not know where the fuck I'm going anymore. Oh, I'll keep explaining our history. And then, so we ended up fighting a 7-month, like, battle in the sky. It was, like, on and off all the time. And then Germany was just, like, doing everything they could. And then Hitler was an idiot. I was just like, nothing.
Are you going to leave me alone?
Okay, fine.
Goodbye. Yeah, goodbye.
And then Hitler was just an idiot. I was just like, oh, I'm going to attack the Germans. Because there is nothing that could go wrong there.
Closed.
Even here, decidedly the poor people have been abandoned to their fate.
Can I open this one? No. Maybe he's back over here. Could it be those two? Could it be you? Could it be pigeons, which I'm stepping on? I'm stuck on pigeon. I am stuck on pigeons. Okay, look. I've lived in a city my entire life. Pigeons are not this docile. Hello. You're not gonna open your eyes for me, are you? But you're gonna know exactly where I... That is creepy. That is creepy. She does not have her eyes open, and she knows exactly where I am. That is creepy. Hello. Hello?
Buy my flat.
Okay, let's see if there's anybody here again. And like the Germans were like, oh, these Russians, they do nothing. Surely we can take over the Russians, right? And then the Russians like,
This shovel belongs to the cemetery workers.
was all like, niet. You try to take over our land, and you'll try to
Impossible
take
to
over.
open it.
You try to take our vodka too.
Let us see if the elements anal... This rope is only worn on one side. This rope is only worn on one... The rope used to tie up the Bishop of Knightsbridge came from this cemetery. It is only worn on the one side because it is used to lower coffins into graves.
Anyway. And so the Russians, like, beat the absolute shit out of Germany. And then Japan was just like, oh, we see an opportunity to take down the Americans. We shall pump Pearl Harbor! And then they did, and America was like, oh, hell no, that was the wrong decision to make, partner. And then they're like, hey, England, we noticed that y'all survived that there blitz. You mind if we come in and help you out? And then they did. And then so, like, all together, like, they used England as a launch pad to, like, invade Normandy. And then we fought a big fight. And then, once that was over, America was like, well, now, you here listen here good, buddy. If anyone asks, we came to save your ass out of the fire. I don't want to hear the fact that you survived against the Germans by yourself and even won the Battle of Britain. I don't want
Let
to
us
hear...
see if the elements analyzed... Granite. These stones are of the same granite. These stones... Let us see if the...
We just got that observation there.
Granite. These... Granite. Black paint. These stones are of the same...
Black paint, too.
These the same black paint covers
okay.
these stones. This black painted stone is identical to the fragments found in the rope which we analyzed at Baker Street and in the footprints of the Bishop of Knightsbridge's murderers.
Anyway, and so the Americans like, now I don't want you here telling that the Russians were the reason. Or hell, if you want to be real specific, you can...
This must be the gravedigger's cabin.
Well, judging by the state of this place, they don't work very often.
I don't want you to talk about how it was technically Hitler himself that saved your asses.
Let us see if the black and damp earth. Earth freshly turned over, still damp. This dark, damp earth is the same type as that which was found at the Bishop of Knightsbridge's home.
It came from a grave, then. What a lovely thought.
Everything coincides, Watson. The fragments of granite at the bishop's home came from the tombstones of this cemetery.
As well as the rope that was used to restrain the poor man. One of those used to lower the coffins.
I can think of only two reasons why anyone should happen to spend a great deal of time in a cemetery. Either he is at rest here, or he works here. At least one of the bishop's murderers is employed here.
A shame. If he was at rest here, it would have made our job easier.
Anyway, and so, like, at the end of the war, the Americans, like, turned to us and like, no, I don't want you to talk about how it was Hitler's old dumbass decision to go ahead and attack the Russians. I don't want you guys to say that was the reason. I especially don't want you to say that, you know, that you did anything. What I want you to say, and what we're gonna reiterate, even though y'all ain't never gonna mention it, is that we saved your ass during the war. Alright? And we ain't never gonna let that down. Our history is gonna make it we're gonna make our history sound like we were the sole reason why you won the war, not the Russians, and certainly not the Germans' incompetent plan. It was all us. And then we were like, well, I don't really appreciate that, but I suppose if it will help stroke your overly large egos, then go ahead. Okay, fine.
Goodbye.
Yeah.
Hello? Nope. Okay. And they were like, oh, I suppose we'll just go ahead and keep your ego massively inflated. And then Cold War happened, and they were just like, oh, I don't appreciate this. Oh, I see that the Falkland Islands have just been taken over by the Argentinians. And the Argentinians were just like, I don't know a fucking accent for them. So it's just like, oh, we just took over something that belongs to you. And we're like, oh, we don't appreciate that. In fact, you know what? We're going to pull out one of our aircraft carriers that's about to be sold. We're going to take a very small force, as a small task force, a few submarines, a handful of destroyers, one aircraft carrier. Oh yes, and we're going to also introduce these jets. They're called the Harrier jump jets. Oh yes, I know. Nobody wants to buy them because they're subsonic, but you know, we have great confidence in them. And then we came over and we kicked the ass of the Argentinians with the Harrier jump jets against what was essentially superior military jets and a country that was putting everything behind it. Also, we had the SAS just, like, bomb the shit out of everything there. And also, as well, we were just like, hey, we've got this bomber. You know what we're going to do? We're so confident in our abilities that we're going to fly it from England all the way across the sea, take a couple of refuel trips, and basically, all we're going to do... Chinatown. All we're going to do is we're just going to come in and we're just going to bomb Argentina. And then we're going to fly back as if nothing happened. Oh, don't mind us. We're just crazy like that. And then, like, Argentina was like, oh, shit. We just fought against the British Empire. Or what's left of it, anyway. And the Harrier jump jets just kicked the ass out of our Mirage jets, which are technically superior. And we threw our entire military behind this. And they threw only a small task force behind this. And we're getting our shipwrecked in 7 months. Oh no. And then, like, we got the Falklands back, but Argentina won't shut up about it. Even though, you know, they can't do anything about it. Nope, okay. I don't know where I'm meant to go. Hey, you got anything?
What should we do?
I don't know. You're like someone who work here.
Hey, give me a little something, you cheapskate.
Oh, okay. And like a few years later, Saddam was just like, I cannot do those accents. But it's just like, I am going to go ahead and take over an area.
Whitechapel's.
And then we're like, nah, we're just going to work together with the UN and kick your asses. And then a little bit later, we were just like, oh, Saddam has weapons of mass destruction. We need to go. Well, technically it was George Bush. He was like, oh yeah, those Iraqis, they got weapons of mass destruction. I'm just gonna go ahead over here to Tony Blair and just tell him that, and then we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna bomb Iraq.
The man from the soup kitchen isn't only in voluntary service. Look.
A money game.
Can I talk to you now about this money game?
You again. You can't have any soup, you're too rich. It's for the poor, not the toffs.
And what would you say to relieving 2 toffs of their wallets by giving them a chance at dice?
With great pleasure. What do you want to bet?
Your ring against my friend's superb silver watch.
Oh, this isn't gonna go well.
Holmes, I inherited this watch from my brother. It has a great sentimental value.
Watson, show your watch to our friend here.
Done. Make yourselves at home. All right, mister. First who gets 36 points wins.
This is gonna be luck. One. 4. 1. 4. 4 again. It is 36, okay. 4. 1. 3. 2. Okay, I can risk one more. 3. Storing my points. Anyway, as I was saying... What was I saying? Oh, yeah. And now we're here, and now everyone thinks that England is a joke. Look, the point is that we've been in a lot of fighting, okay? Fighting is in our blood. Literally. We just fight. We just fight, we fight, we fight. And it typically starts with... I'll shank you outside of Tesco, I swear on me mum. Yeah, okay.
Perfect.
Yay, I win.
Are you gonna leave me alone? Can't you see I'm busy?
We win.
Hey, not so fast. We'll play again.
Out of the question. You have lost. You owe me your ring.
Oh, it means a lot to me, this ring. Me dad gave it me before he died. He choked on his own glass eye. Me mum didn't get over the shock of it, and she killed herself by smashing her head open with her wooden leg. And she'd only just heard that me sister, who's a prostitute, had caught an embarrassing disease that made all her hair fall out. And worse, our dog got run over when he...
As this ring holds such sentimental value for you, I will allow you to keep it. What would you say to exchanging that against some information about Grape Ape? That seems like a fair deal, don't you think?
Grape Ape works with us. He usually deals with the tickets, but we haven't seen him for a few days.
Where is he usually to be found?
Well, last time I saw him, he was with his mates from the dispensary, them that deal with the morgue. Now, that's all I know.
It is quite good enough. Keep your ring, my good man, as a souvenir of your poor father.
A souvenir of me dad, me mum, me sister, and me dog.
Wait, was that actual? Was he like making a sub story? Or was that actually true? Cause if that was true, then oh my god!
One further thing. You said that Grape Ape's friends work at the morgue. Which morgue?
The morgue at the dispensary. I must say, they got a funny job. They wash the dead, dress them, cut their hair. They clean the blood off the floor, chase the rats, stamp on the cockroaches. Mister, I can tell ya, I prefer giving out soup.
There isn't a certain curse amongst the employees.
Listen, we didn't play for info about the whole city. I'm not telling you anything else.
The dispensary has got its own morgue. Interesting.
Well, yeah, I've just told you so. It's the one that all the undertakers prefer. Think about it. It's just next to the cemetery.
Thank you, my good man. Goodbye.
Yeah, goodbye, mister.
How long did I spend talking about the history of England fighting? And when did I stop saying the I'll shank you outside of Tesco's, I swear on me mum? Because that's a common misconception about here. I don't actually think I've heard us say that for a long time. What the hell? Okay. Ugh.